Sally. Thanks ever so much. We'll see you a bit later on.
20 to 7. The man accused of using industrial-grade silicone in defective breast implants could face up to 5 years in prison if he's found guilty of aggravated fraud in a French court today.
Up to 500,000 women in 65 countries had the implants from PIP, including thousands in the UK. And many of those women are still fighting for compensation, including Kate Ward, who is here now, along with Richard Langton from Slater Gordon Solicitors, who's representing some of the women affected. Very good morning to you. Kate, tell us about what happened with you. There was a problem with the implants. You yourself had these particular implants. What happened when you realised there was an issue?
I realised in April 2010 when I came across a very small story in the French media, which, you know, straight away sparked some concern, and I wanted to establish which implants I actually had.
Did you not know at that
implanted.
stage?
I didn't know the brand of them.
Okay,
yeah. I'd had them implanted about 7 years before. At the time I was assured that they were the safest products on the market at the time. So I rang the cosmetic provider and they informed me a few days later that I did have PIP implants. So when it was established that they weren't willing to offer me anything in terms of a removal or replacement, because as soon as you find out that you've got something in your body that contains industrial material, you know, you don't want it anymore, you want it removing.
Of course.
And there was little known about the risks that they posed to women's health at the time. When I established that they weren't prepared to offer me anything in terms of any care, I then went about funding a removal and replacement myself.
How much did that cost?
It cost me just short of £5,000.
Which you're still trying to pay back?
Yeah, I had to lend the money, you know, so I'm technically in debt as a result of that. But it was about weighing up, you know, my anxieties around my health, you know, and kind of reducing those risks, really.
Richard, thousands of women in Britain in the same sort of situation as Kate. What are the chances of getting any?
Well, yeah, tens of thousands of women. There's some chance of some of them, maybe 1,000 or more, getting compensation from the clinics if they've got adequate insurance, but most of the clinics have no insurance because it's not a requirement to have insurance, and they've gone into administration, although frankly some of them are still trading under a different company name. We've managed to negotiate a scheme recently for about 500 women who paid for the surgery using their credit card. They're going to get full compensation, so about £5 to £10 million has been recovered or will be recovered for those ladies. The options are possibly going to France and pursuing TUV. This is the German company that was supposed to regulate Monsieur Maz's company, and they were asleep at the wheel, frankly. They failed to carry out any unannounced inspections, so it's common knowledge that the company was deliberately using non-medical grade silicone to save money and then hiding the evidence when they came to inspect it.
Kate, are you trying to get some sort of recompense for the £5,000 that you spent fixing the problem?
Yeah, there is the fact that, you know, I'd like to be compensated for my costs, but I think, you know, there are companies that need to accept some accountability for what's occurred. And
but are you pursuing legal action to try and get that money back?
I am, yeah. I have been doing so since June 2010, but it's been complicated by the fact that my provider is one of the ones that went into administration.
And Richard, it's, you know, this idea of going to France to take legal action, it's a long, hard road with no real guarantee of...
Well, what we're looking at present, I mean, the criminal trial, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. We won't talk about it, but it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to be convicted of something. Now, the criminal trial will now open up because the evidence will come available, possibly pursuing the TUV company in England. So there's jurisdiction issues we have to look at as lawyers, but there is some hope there. It's certainly something we're going to leave no stone unturned to try and get these ladies.
All right, Richard, thanks very much, and Kate, we wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's 7:15. You're watching Breakfast from BBC News. Let's update you on our headlines so far. Thousands of people have